Good morning, my dear students. This is the third video of chapter 15, class 5, social studies. So in the last video, we discussed about Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar, and the two policies that the British East India Company introduced in our country, that was subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse, isn't it? And then after that, after the introduction of these policies and lot of these wars, our Indian rulers were unhappy with the British rule automatically, normally, we all know that. And then after that, the Indian soldiers, so they have to work in the British army forcefully. They were also very unhappy with the British rule. And our farmers, peasants, they were also very unhappy because they had to give lot of taxes, lot of money to the British government. That means as they all lived very poverty, and they had to give lot of money to the British rule. So they were very unhappy. And all these things led to the revolt, one revolt that was happened in 1857. And widely it is known as the Revolt of 1857, or it is also known as Sepoy Mutiny. Okay, so today we are going to learn about the Revolt of 1857, or it is known as the Sepoy Mutiny. The Revolt of 1857, or it is known as Sepoy Mutiny. Okay, so why it is known as Sepoy Mutiny? Sepoy means soldiers. Soldiers, those who were in the British Army. Indian soldiers, those who were in the British Army. They are known as sepoys. And mutiny means it is a rebellion or war. That means a violent resistance to the authority. That means especially to the British authority. That is Sepoy Mutiny. So why it was happened between the army persons, that means the soldiers and with the army persons in the British army. Why it was happened? Lot of things were there behind the war, that means behind the revolt of 1857. But we can see that the immediate cause of this revolt, the revolt of 1857, it was the introduction of Enfield rifle in the army. What was that? The introduction of Enfield rifle in the British army, okay, in our country. That means this is our Enfield rifle, okay, and we can see that it was the British Army's standard rifle, okay, the introduction of this Enfield rifle in the army, clear, in our country. That was the reason behind the revolt of 1857. So normally we will think, what is the reason behind, what is the thing is that the introduction of this Enfield rifle in the army, because we all know that in army they are using these kind of equipments and tools. So what was it? The thing is that for this Enfield rifle, one cartridge is there, that means the bullet, that kind of thing. So for that cartridge, it should be greased properly. So we all know that iron things and all these things needed a proper greasing and proper maintenance. Otherwise it will become useless. So for that greasing of this cartridge of this Enfield rifle, it was believed that they are using the fat of cows and pigs. There were the problem. Okay, so it was believed that in the Indian society they are using for the greasing of this cartridge in this Enfield rifle, they are using the fat of cows and pig. Okay, and this offended the religious sentiments, that means the religious feelings in our country, especially for the Hindus and Muslims. As we all know that Hindus are not permitted to eat beef and Muslims are not permitted to eat pork, isn't it? So it became an inserted thing in the Indian soldiers, isn't it? Especially for the Muslims and Hindus. And normally and automatically after that, the Indian soldiers were refused to use this cartridge, okay, in the Enfield rifle. That was the starting, that was the reason behind the revolt of 1857. Clear? Okay, and then after that they said that we will not use this cartridge in the Enfield rifle, and then they marched to Delhi, and then that time Bahadur Shah Zafar was the Mughal emperor, and they marched there. The Indian soldiers marched there and complained against these things, but nothing was happened because the English army, as we all know, that they were very better armed and they were organized, and then that was the reason, and that is how the revolt of 1857 was started. Okay, and here we will write the reason behind the revolt. What was the reason behind the revolt? The introduction of the Enfield rifle. Rifle in the army. Okay, so that was the reason behind the revolt of 1857. And then after that, the revolt was started. Okay, and some of the leaders, because we all know that our country is very big, very vast. Okay, and some of the leaders were joined together for this war, the revolt. Okay, and who were there? That is Rani Lakshmi Bai, Nana Sahib, Tandia Topi, Kunwar Singh. These were some of the leaders. They were joined together for this war against the British rule. Okay, but I think this revolt was continued for 1 year. Okay, and after that it was, we can say that it was a failed one. Okay, this revolt was a failed one because lot of things were happened, and then we can see that why it was failed. This was a failed revolt. That means a proper leadership was not there. Suddenly it was happened, and proper planning and nothing was there. Suddenly it was started. That was the main reason behind the failure of this revolt. And then proper leadership was not there. No one was there. No special leader was not there for this revolt. Okay, that was the two important reasons behind the failure of this revolt: lack of proper planning and lack of proper leadership. Okay, and then it was failed, and then during this war Rani Lakshmi Bai died, and Nana Sahib defeated, and our Mughal emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar, and he captured, and they exiled him to Burma, that is Myanmar. Exiled means a person who has been forcefully lived to another country. Okay, and then where they died later, and then his two sons, Bahadur Shah Zafar's two sons, were killed, and that was the end of the Mughal Empire. Okay, and that was the end of the Mughal Empire. And then, so these kind of things were happened during this 1857 revolt. So we can say that it was a failed revolt. Okay, unsuccessful revolt. And then, but some positive things were happened after this revolt of 1857. What was that? We can see that this was the first war. Okay, the first war of Indian independence, and it is the turning point of the history of India. The revolt of 1857, or the Sepoy Mutiny, was the first war of Indian independence, and it is a turning point of the history of India. And after that what was happened? This English East India Company was there here, and then after that it was the rule or governing of this English East India Company was ended here, ended in India. Okay, and then the rule handed over to Queen Victoria. She was the Queen of the England at that time. So it was ended, the rule of English East India Company was ended, and then it handed over to Queen Victoria. And after that she said that, what she said that she will be the Empress of India, and on behalf of Queen Victoria, one person will come here in India and he will govern. And that person is known as, or particular name is given there, that is Viceroy, her Viceroy. Viceroy means a person governing a particular state or a province, and he is a representative. Okay, he is a, simply we can say that he is a representative of that particular king or queen, that is Viceroy. So after this revolt of 1857, the English East India Company's rule ended in India and the rule was handed over to Queen Victoria. And she said that after that she will be the Empress of India, and on behalf of Queen Victoria, a person will come, viceroys, her viceroys will govern in India. Okay, this was the after effect of 1857 revolt. So that was the revolt of 1857. So here we will write the reason behind the failure of the revolt. Why it was failed? Lack of proper planning and proper leadership. Okay. And what was the after effect of this failure, this revolt, 1857 revolt? The English East India Company's rule was ended and the rule was handed over to Queen Victoria. And after that, she said that she will be the Empress of India, and on behalf of Queen Victoria, viceroys will come in India and they will govern in India. And then the most important thing is that a feeling of nationalism was originated in our country. As we all know that this was the first war of our Indian independence. Okay, the revolt of 1857 was the first war of Indian independence. So after this thing, a feeling of nationalism, that means a feeling of our own country, we have to do together something for the independence of our country. That kind of a feeling was originated in our country. That was the main point, the positive thing after the revolt of 1857. Okay, the impact was feeling of nationalism. Feeling of nationalism was originated. Okay, so today we learned about the revolt of 1857, or it is also known as the Sepoy Mutiny. Okay, it was started 1857. Why it was started? Because the immediate cause of this revolt was the introduction of Enfield rifle in the army. Okay, and they are using some cartridge in the Enfield rifle, and it was believed that they are greasing that cartridge with the use of, that means of the fat of cows and pigs. Okay, so normally in our country, the Indian soldiers were refused to use that cartridge, the greased cartridge, and that was the reason behind the revolt of 1857. And after that, lot of leaders were joined for this revolt of 1857. Rani Lakshmi Bai, Nana Sahib, Tandiya Topi, Kunwar Singh, these were some of the leaders. They joined in the revolt of 1857. But it was a failed one, okay, because we all know that British army were better armed and they were very organized, but due to the lack of proper leadership and proper planning, our Indian soldiers were defeated. Okay, and then what was happened? What was the impact after effect of this revolt? The English East India Company's rule was ended in India, and the rule was handed over to Queen Victoria. Okay, and then on behalf of Queen Victoria, viceroys will come here and then they will govern. That was the declaration from Queen Victoria. She said that she will be the Empress of India, and on behalf of her, viceroys will come here in India and they will govern. Okay, and the main thing is was happened in our country, that was a feeling of nationalism was originated after this 1857 revolt. Okay, so I hope that all of must understand, all of can understand this thing, okay, through this video. And today I am giving you two very small homework. First one, what was the failure of revolt of 1857. Second question, who is a viceroy? Okay, these are the two questions. Okay, the first one you have to write in a proper sentence. Okay, what was the reason behind the failure of the revolt of 1857? And the second one, who is a viceroy? Okay, so students, we will meet in the next video. Thank you.